Why retreat when the ridge is finally within reach? As setbacks circles low like a patient scavenger, waiting for the moment resolve loosens its grip, hungry for the easy feast of surrender. Strange, isn't it? How the turning points that define a life often emerge from the remains of our most depleted hours, like steel tempered only after the longest heat. Research on resilience suggests that what carries people through is rarely a blaze of triumph, but a disciplined willingness to continue under strain, breath by deliberate breath. Not the pain that fades with time or can be drowned out by a favorite song, but the quiet, persistent pressure that leaves no wound to bandage and no calendar date to blame. It is the weight of waking inside a frame that feels older than the mirror admits, a fatigue that doesn't announce itself, only abides. Yet evidence across hard seasons points to a narrow doorway beyond the last inch of effort. Not revelation in a flash, but practice in the shadows. Staying, inhaling, inching a fingertip toward a later morning even as the air feels thick and the walls listen too closely. Survival in those hours is not a parade. It's craftwork done without witnesses, mending what tore, not by shaking not, in a room that doesn't answer back. There are days when even the outline on the floor seems heavier than it should, when each step is a verdict overturned by effort, when the hush in the chest is loud enough to pass for thunder. And still, the body is upright, and that single fact exceeds the credit most would ever allocate to it. Confuse none of this with fragility. Endurance has a grammar that doesn't include shouting, only continuing. Hard years forge edges, longings hone focus, and closed doors supply a curriculum in staying present without permission slips. The record remains, perhaps not polished, perhaps moving on hands and knees, but unmistakably here. There is a tremor, yes, but there is also drift toward the next hour, and the smallest motion is a signature that refuses erasure. No promises of balance sheets paid in full. Sometimes recompense never arrives in the currency imagined, and that is a truth better met than denied. Still, beneath collapsed scaffolds, something essential has already set. A tensile core, not because harm never touched it, but because a language grew out of ruins and learned to speak anyway. Doubt can ride shotgun if it must. It may murmur and it may pinch, but it does not get custody of the root. Crawl is a valid verb. Disappearing is not. The pull in the ribs, the reach toward a horizon with no timestamp, the heat that refuses to go out. This is not a defect to be corrected, but a signal that the interior refuses to fold. That is sufficient, even when applause would be inappropriate to the hour. So if the total capacity today is no more than clenched jaw and a refusal to slide backward, let that be the discipline practice to completion. Let failure's empty mouth keep waiting at the doorway. There is distance still to be hauled, and embers under ash that know their own name.